Merhaba arkadaşlar, ben Emre. Tangle Tower'a kaldığımız yerden devam ediyoruz. En son Penelope ile tanıştık. Şuradaydı değil mi şey? Karıştırıyorum. Penny yani. Kısaltılmışı. Penny ile tanıştık. Kuş manyağı. Sonra da millete biraz sorular sorarak geçirdik. Şimdiki en son odalardan bir tanesi. Bir de şuradaki bahçe kaldı. Onun dışında her yere gittik, bakındık yani. Tabii atladığım bir şey varsa bilemeyeceğim. Hala şeyden uzağız ama olaylardan. Şimdi arkadaşla bir tanışalım.
Shh, listen. Do you hear them? The stars. They're
Bir
whispering.
manyak daha.
So quiet and yet so loud.
What are they whispering about? Are they spreading rumors about us?
I shouldn't think they concern themselves with such insignificance. We are but specks of dust, you and I.
Mm-hmm. Could the speck of dust start by telling me his name?
You find yourself standing in the astronomy tower of one Professor Percival Pointer.
Seems like this tower belongs to the Pointers, and the other one belongs to the Fellows.
Well observed, my dear. Tangle Tower is something of a duality, as it happens. Meaningless boundaries, really. They exist only in our minds.
Helpful.
Kendiniz
Me?
anlat.
Not much to say. Strictly speaking, I'm the current head of the Pointer family. And of course, father to my precious Poppy.
And a professional astronomer?
Oh no, that's just a little hobby. I mean, yes, I've studied the stars for over 35 years, published 17 books.
Just a little hobby.
Sounds like you're quite well known. You must bring in a good amount of money.
Oh dear me, no. My field of research has never yielded any kind of stable financial return, nor would I expect it to. I am nothing but a humble interpreter for the cosmos, working to translate its message so that I may share it with the world.
Cool. Tell the Cosmos I say hi.
Dönem.
The day began as any other, with blissful, unremarkable routine. I took my usual morning walk around the gardens. Fresh air does wonders for the mind.
Did you see anyone else?
Penelope and Fitz were in the greenhouse together. I didn't bother them, of course. I sat for a while besides the pond in the garden. It's a favorite spot of mine. Eventually, I returned to my tower and buried myself in my studies for the afternoon.
Did you use your telescope yesterday?
Once the stars began to appear, naturally.
For how long?
I can't say. I've been known to lose hours at my telescope.
Did you see anything?
No actual discoveries, if that's what you mean.
So you were all alone up in the astronomy tower. Must have been a while before you found out what had happened to Freya.
Quite. Normally, I would be the last to find out about such a thing. But a curious tug of fate led me towards the fellow tower later that evening.
Neden? Anlat
I
bakalım.
was at my telescope for the majority of the evening, but at one point I returned to my desk to look something up in a reference book. I couldn't find the book I wanted, so I figured Fiona must have borrowed it. I left my tower and headed down towards the Grand Hall. I spotted Detective Hawkshaw coming out of the library. She looked impatient and slightly frustrated.
Same as ever then?
Quite. I passed her by and went upstairs to Fiona's room. The door was locked, but I could hear shouting coming from inside. I recognized Fiona's voice as well as the voice of my own daughter. I had no desire to invade their privacy by eavesdropping, so I waited for them to finish and come out into the hall. Before I could ask about the book, Poppy grabbed my hand and took me upstairs along with Fiona. It was apparent that both of them had already been crying about something. We went up to Flora's tower. Freya was laying on her back, right in the middle of the room. Flora and Fitz were already there. They both looked stoic as ever. Felix and Penny arrived shortly after we did, and then Fiona went downstairs with Poppy for some reason. I quickly decided that I should leave also. I took Penelope with me, and we both went back to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
Why did you leave so quickly? Wasn't there anything you could have done to help?
Don't take this the wrong way, but the whole ordeal is fellow family business. I'm quite sure they don't need me getting in the way at a time like that.
İlginç. Sırayla başlayalım o
Nobody
zaman.
could deny her talent. She was remarkable, artistically gifted, but also highly intelligent.
Those two things aren't mutually exclusive, you know.
Was she ever interested in astronomy?
I don't think she was. The fault may well lie with me for failing to inspire her. But I think she was captivated by more tangible things here on Earth. My daughter loved her. Fiona, too. That said, in the last year or so, more and more I've begun to notice her by herself, wandering the gardens at the most peculiar hours. She must have explored every inch of the grounds 100 times over. Quite a restless spirit, I think. I'm surprised she chose to live at Tangle Tower as long as she did.
Fiona.
A listless soul drifting through
Neşesiz
the
biri.
ether.
What's wrong with her?
Not sure. She's always been troubled. Comes from a dysfunctional family. I'd say you could ask her about it, but I think you might find that to be a bit of a dead end.
Felix.
He should learn to make the most of his lot in life. And he does have a lot in life.
You're talking about money?
Among other things, but yes, he currently has agency over a small fortune. That is, if he hasn't already squandered it or lost it.
You two don't get on?
Oh no, we're the best of friends.
Fifi tabii ki de en
Hard to
son.
read, that one, but she seems to know what she's doing.
She's kind of mean.
You know, I simply assumed all detectives were sharp, rigorous, and thorough. Then, of course, I met you. What do you want me to say? He's the gardener.
He's a member of the family.
Yeah, but not the Pointer family.
What happened to his parents, do you know?
His father, Flint, is Felix's brother. Strange man. Don't think anybody knows what happened to him, but he certainly doesn't live here anymore.
What about his mother?
Emily? I've not met her. She never actually married into the fellow family. Her
Nasıl oldu?
relationship with Flint was, it was short-lived. I don't especially want to talk about myself. Introspection often leads to vanity.
Wait, does it?
Why don't we discuss the moons of Jupiter instead?
I'm not sure if we have time. Aren't there like 10 of them?
83.
Yeah, we don't have time.
Penny.
Ah, Penelope, our resident ornithologist.
Penny's your niece, is that right?
At this moment in time, until she marries the gardener.
She'll still be your niece.
But she'll depart from the world of the Pointers and join the Fellows. Like rats deserting a sinking ship.
Pek hoşlanmıyor.
My puppy, my pride and joy. Exceptionally talented pianist from a young age. She... Hold on. Why is she on your list of suspects?
Because she's a suspect.
Oh no, I can personally vouch for her innocence. She'd never... Well, the truth is, she loved Freya very dearly.
If you don't mind me asking, what happened to Poppy's mother?
Primrose? She was Flora's sister, a Remington by birth. The playing field has never really been even since she left.
Where did she go?
Away. She went away.
Vefat etmiş anladığım kadarıyla. Hadi sırayla gidelim.
So, which one is Tangle Tower?
What's that?
There are two towers, right? Flora's tower and your astronomy tower.
Neither? Truly, I have no idea. You'd have to ask Flora.
She named the house?
The whole thing is a result of her squabbling with her family.
With Felix, you mean? Her husband?
No, her brother and sister, and her father. The Remington family was a rather tumultuous little unit, you see. I don't think Flora has spoken with any of them in over a decade. Not exactly a wealth of information, is it?
It's enough.
Bu
Isn't the process of decay fascinating?
It's not really decaying. It's plastic.
It's becoming one with nature, all the same.
bu
Where on earth did you find that?
It was in a bush outside. I think someone threw it away.
How peculiar. I find that painting to be in rather bad taste.
Oh, yeah?
The knife with real blood on it? The whole thing is rather vulgar. Here's a thought. Do you suppose the paintbrush could be the murder weapon? After all, it was found at the scene, right next to Freya's body.
I guess it's possible.
Is this important?
Possibly.
Pointer property originally, purloined by the fellows. Typical.
Tüt.
I haven't seen that tape for a long time. Who broke it?
No idea.
Ah, well, possessions are fleeting, my friends. Curious little thing, isn't it? Do you know what she keeps in there?
Nothing. At the moment. It was empty when we opened it.
How bizarre.
Can't a woman keep an empty egg in her room?
Çok mu garip?
This is supposed to be Felix, is it?
I think so.
I see he's afforded himself considerable artistic license.
Bu.
This looks a little rushed, even by Felix's standards.
At least he tried.
Yes, I suppose it's good for the old fellow to have a hobby. Keeps his mind from decaying, you know. Freya was well acquainted with the abstract, I'll say that much.
What does it look like to you?
To me, it's a big, red thing.
What a fascinating interpretation.
He's
Muhteşem
right,
bir.
though. It is a big red thing.
Poppy's two closest friends. Freya looks so innocent there. These were drawn by Freya? She must have drawn that one of Hawkshaw rather recently.
I guess.
That's a very old book, isn't it? Looks like someone could have taken better care of it.
I like the look of a well-read book. Better than one that's never been opened.
Ah, well put. A diary can be a wonderful outlet for an outpouring of one's soul.
How do you know it's a diary?
I suppose I don't, but it does look like a diary. Yes, very nice. Where is that bird of Flora's? It's been a while since I've seen it. What's this?
It looks like it might be a telescope. Thought you might know something about it.
Well, it certainly is a telescope. It has a part there to screw onto a tripod, you see. It's rather small, though. I'm not sure you could see many stars with it.
No, probably not.
Oh, my. This is the first piece that Primrose ever learnt on the piano. Primrose, that is Poppy's mother. She passed it down to Poppy when she started teaching her how to play.
Poppy's piano teacher was her mother?
Of course. Warms my heart to know that after everything, Poppy still has it up on her wall. What a precious photograph. She hasn't changed a bit, has she?
Who?
Oh, if you don't know, perhaps I don't either.
Hiç var olmamış gibi finanse
Curious
ediyorlar ya.
creature, isn't it? Some sort of amphibious bipedal fish man.
Playing a trumpet.
Playing a trumpet, yes.
Bu.
That's rather a small cage for three birds, isn't it? But then, aren't we all trapped in a cage?
Yine saçmalık bu.
Well now, that is most definitely none of my business. Quite possibly none of yours either. What
Saksı.
kind of flower is that?
We're not sure. I think it might be the only one of its kind.
Primrose would know. My wife was a floriculturalist. Best in the field. That's a flower joke, but she was.
Interesting.
Tamamdır. Ne oldu?
That's all the statements.
Let's go over them all.
Şimdi olmaz. Şuraları bir inceleyeceğim.
It's full of tea, but it's gone cold.
Criminal.
A picture frame.
With no picture.
Çok saçma. Fotoğraf çerçevelenme ve fotoğraf mı yok? Yani.
It's tidier than my desk. The notebook is untouched. It's completely blank.
So, even the most well-used notebooks start off blank.
Bu kesin bir
You know,
şeydir.
I've always wanted one of those.
A mechanical solar system? What would you do with it?
Evet.
I would look at it.
Bak bakalım.
Wait a minute. Earth in the middle, sun on the outside. How
Evet.
old is this thing?
5 gezegenin güneşi ve ayı orta kısmına gelecek şekilde yapacağız ha. Böyle bir şey mi?
Nothing.
So there are two ways to move the shadows. Rotate the planets and rotate the sun and moon.
Ha, bunlar da dönüyor. Şimdi düşündüm de böyle garip bir şekilleri vardı. Böyle üçgen yapabilmemiz lazım. Tamam. Oldu mu böyle?
I guess that's wrong.
I think you just need to get the shadows to line up with the shape on the.
Böyle.
No,
Tamam.
that was it.
Nice work. Did you hear
Bakalım ne
that?
çıktı.
Something on
There's a
Evet,
little
açıldı.
hatch underneath. What's in
a
there?
bunch of paper. Looks like somebody's research.
Altın böcek. Dördüncü altın böcek adının altında yaklaşık olarak %90 özdeş olan dış kabuğundan alıyor. Birkaç yıllık bir ömre sahip avcı hayvanların yüksek sesle tıslaması 95 desibelin üzerinde ve tamamen sindirilemez yapısı sayesinde uzaklaştırıyor. İnsana gulyabani görenlerin başına bahtsız olaylar geleceği gibi bir batıl inancı sahip.
There's something about Hawkshaw's handheld microscope. Something suspicious.
Let's ask her about it.
Hadi sorarım. Tık tık tık tık tık tık tık. Gel bakalım.
This
Şüphemizi
little
söyle.
microscope thing? You said you used it to search the greenhouse.
And this would make perfect sense if you knew what my client had asked me to find. Of course, I still have no intention of disclosing that information.
You're such a tease, Hawkshaw. Don't worry, we already worked out what you're searching for.
Evet. Bu.
You're not as hopeless as you look.
Thanks.
So, that's what you were looking for in the greenhouse? This beetle?
Surely even you can understand the logic of it. The greenhouse is home to a great many insects. The gardener could have easily kept the beetle hidden in there.
Well, Fitz said you questioned him, but didn't actually search the greenhouse.
Evet.
He's not exactly the type to appreciate subtlety. He simply didn't notice that I was using my microscope.
What do you reckon, Grimoire?
I know for a fact she didn't use the microscope in the greenhouse.
Bilmiyor. Aslında o bir mikroskop değil.
It's not
Yeah.
a microscope at all.
All of a sudden, Detective Grimoire is some kind of expert on microscopes.
Evet. Fifi tarafından oluşturuldu çünkü Fifi'ye göre şunu kullanıyor. Havşark'a göre şunu kullanıyor. Öyle mi? Yani Havşak onu çaldı. Yani Havşak doğruyu söylüyordu. Yani onu çaldı. Yani Havşak yalan söyledi. Öyle mi?
The handheld microscope.
Olmadı
Nope.
da. Böyle değişti.
A microscopic. That's not right.
Neyi yanlış yaptık? Şu yanlış. Şundan eminim. Hepsi yanlış çıktı. Fifi'ye göre şunu kullanıyor. Bu doğru olması lazım. Evet. Böyle.
The handheld microscope, according to Fifi, uses a telescopic lens, so Hawkshaw lied about it. I'm inclined to believe Fifi when it comes to stuff like this.
Hawkshaw, why did you lie about owning a telescope?
When you were a child, what did you aspire to become?
A detective? Naturally.
Emperor
Yani.
of the galaxy.
I wanted to be an astronomer.
Really?
I harbored a desire to understand the secrets of the wider universe. A fool's errand, to be sure, but a seductive one. At 15, I decided instead to apply my intelligence to the world around me. And so, I became a detective. But the yearning for elusive knowledge is a powerful force. I tried to keep it with me.
Sorry, but we're way off track. What's the deal with the little telescope?
A memento from my childhood. Little more than a toy.
Why did you bring it with you?
When I discovered that it was Professor Pointer who had hired me, I dared to consider it something of a planetary alignment. I had hoped he might sign my telescope. An extremely childish indulgence, I admit.
I never would have guessed.
Hold on. You're admitting you didn't use it in the greenhouse then?
Correct. As it happens, I have no need to search the greenhouse to such a degree. Professor Pointer doesn't consider the gardener a suspect in our theft investigation.
So, who is your suspect?
Things have become complicated. My lead suspect is your murder victim.
Vay nerede karıştı. Bulduğumuz şeyleri bir millete sorarım. Gel bakalım kuşçu. Pointer hakkında.
Can't say I've ever taken an interest in Uncle's astronomy. On occasion, I've dared to visit him in his tower, but I always regret it. It's all just a little too abstract for me.
What do you mean?
Oh, did you know the sun is apparently over 400,000 miles wide? Okay, so what should I do with that information? How does it help me?
Don't look at me. You're the one who memorized it.
Şunu sorarım.
Not a fan of insects myself. Whose research is this?
We were hoping you might know.
No, can't say I... Freya, perhaps. I know she was always very fond of grubby little things like this.
Noted.
Tamamdır. Altın böceği sorarım sana. Burada tanışacağımız bir şey. Ha, Fifi'yi sormamışız.
Ah, yes, the heiress of Tangle Tower. Goodness knows what'll happen when she takes charge. I dare say she'll confiscate my telescope and replace it with a microscope.
She doesn't seem to be the type to impress her will on others.
Still, keep an eye on her. Dangerously intelligent, that one.
You sound jealous. Wait, are you two science rivals?
Oh no, we operate on very different wavelengths. Literally.
Fifi'me laf ettirmem.
So, we found some research. What's up
Yeah.
with this golden beetle? Is this something you're studying?
I can't help you, I'm afraid. I think it must be something left behind by a previous inhabitant of Tangle Tower. I'm not the first scientist to ever walk these halls, you know.
Well, it wasn't in the halls. It was in your astronomy tower.
Mal gibi kalırsın işte. Dur. Şeyi merak ettim. Durarak.
Pretty.
Hiç.
Pretty.
Gayet.
There's something kinda disappointing about this room. I just expected a bit more from an astronomy tower.
Oh, does it not compare to all the other astronomy towers you've been to?
Evet. Güzel laf sok. Bura hala kilitli.
Locked.
There must be some way to get it
Burada
open.
yanıp sönen bir işaret var. Dur. Ama her şeyi konuştuktan sonra gideriz oraya. Gel bakayım buraya. Korkunç galiba. Babanı söyle bakalım.
Eavesdrop what the stars are saying. Earthly tether, slowly
Her
fraying.
seferinde pişman oluyorum buna bir şey
Helpless from the
sormaktan.
worst of jealous hunger, selfish thirst. Take a moment, kneel and meet the flowers growing at your feet.
Böcek.
You get some weird insects around here, but I've never seen one like that.
I'm not sure anyone has.
Freya might have. She used to keep beetles in a box in her room.
Why?
For fun, obviously.
Poppy'nin tüm şiirlerini dinledik diye başarı kazandık ya. Sen Böyle bakalım
I
point'e.
imagine you don't visit the astronomy tower too often, do you?
No, but I still see Pointer, sometimes. He's always curious about what I'm growing in the greenhouse. Asks me about the birds, too, and insects. He's pretty clued up on his evolutionary biology.
I didn't think there was much overlap between astronomy and biology.
Böceği
I've
sor
seen
bakalım.
beetles with brightly colored shells, metallic shells even. They're relatively common, especially around here. There's a difference between that and actual gold.
It can't be actual gold. Gold is just inside the earth or whatever. You can't make it. That's called alchemy. It was a whole thing.
Pek yardımcı olmadı, şunu merak
This
ediyorum.
one's in a little pot.
Okay, that is definitely not edible.
It looks like a gemstone, don't you think?
Dışı sert olan ve bir değerli taşa benzeyen saksıda meyve. Saksıdaki toprak mavinin ilginç bir tonunda.
There's something about the report of Fitz going up Pointer Tower. Something
Ona
suspicious.
basmam lazım.
Let's ask him about it.
Hadi sorarım. Biz burayı incelemedik herhalde.
That's a handsome beetle. Looks like he might have magic powers.
Bir sürü de ilginç
Is that
meyve var.
fruit? It's shaped like fruit.
Too shiny to be fruit. I think it's glowing a little too.
Safe to eat, do you think?
I'm gonna say no.
Bence yenmez. Bu ne?
A little chart of, actually, I have no idea what it's about.
Bakayım bir yakından.
Kinda
Yeah.
reminds me of a periodic table.
Greek letters, I think.
Yeah.
Greek letters, I think.
Ne
What do you
olduğunu
make of it?
Not a whole lot.
bulamadığımız, bilmediğimiz şeyler de var. Sorarım sana şüphemizi.
So, Fitz, I have a report that you were seen sneaking up Pointer Tower, holding a knife.
That's not right. I don't go into Pointer Tower. I don't own a knife. And I don't sneak. Was it Fifi who told you this?
How did you know that?
A guess. She doesn't like me very much. But yeah, she was mistaken. Maybe she wasn't wearing her eye lens thing.
What do you think, Grimoire?
Fifi Pils'in gördüğün konusunda yalan söyledi. Fifi Pils'i gördü ama elindeki başka bir şeydi.
Fifi did see Fitz,
Hatırlı.
but he was
Bırak.
holding something else.
So, if it wasn't a knife, what was it?
Şöyle.
What about
Biri.
this?
Ah, that.
Is it yours?
It was a gift. It's sentimental. I have no reason to take it up Pointer Tower. I don't use it at all.
Poppy'nin odasındaki, Penny'nin odasındaki bir saksı çiçeği, Peppy'nin odasındaki ile uyumlu bir set. Kesmek için Fizz tarafından kullanılıyor. Bakımı için Fizz tarafından kullanılıyor. Böyle.
A potted flower is used.
Olmadı. Allah Allah. Gömmek için kullanılmış olabilir.
A potted flower.
Gene
That's
olmadı.
not right.
Sıradaki bahçedeki bitsin odası. Neyi yanlış yap? Oha, hepsi yanlış. O zaman yerlerini değiştireceğiz. Bitsin odası, bir saksı çiçeği. Böyle.
An ornate trowel is
Yine
almost.
olmadı. Neyi yanlış yaptık? Şunu. Değil mi?
An ornate
Değil.
almost.
Penny'nin
An
odası.
ornate trowel is used by Fitz to look after a potted flower in Penny's room.
That flower.
Yes.
Evet.
I've never seen it before.
Yalanın
We need
batsın.
a clue to compare to that flower. Something that proves its connection to Fitz.
Budur.
Let's take a closer look at these.
Saksıdaki toprak, saksıdaki toprak. Böyle.
The pot and soil in Freya's room matches the pot and soil found in Fitz's greenhouse. Almost. Maybe just change.
Grelia yazmış, pardon. Penny şöyle olacak,
Pot and
pardon.
soil in
Grelia
Penny's
gitti
room
kafa.
matches the pot and soil found in Fitz's greenhouse. Let me guess. Penny's flower was originally a gift from you, Fitz. There's no way it's a coincidence.
No way what's a coincidence.
The flower. It looks exactly like Penny.
It took me a long time to breed. I wanted the colors to be exactly right.
That's some gift.
Evet.
Turns out Penny isn't particularly interested in looking after plants. So I go into her room every now and again. When she's not there, water the flower, change the soil. Just trying to keep it alive.
Ve böylece bizim yeni maceramıza gideceğiz ama burada bitiriyorum. Beğenmeyi, yorum atmayı ve abone olmayı unutmayın. Bir sonraki videolarda görüşmek üzere. Bay bay.